Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Community Showcase. I'm your host Mawada Brown, and in studio we have Wasila Adams.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Previously, Wasila spoke to us about her interest in the herbal remedies and essential oils. She mentioned essential oils being the extract of plants, shrubs, herbs, fruit rinds, etc., and they can be used in several different ways. Wasila, can you tell us, are all essential oils the same?
No more, definitely not. We have 4 different grades of essential oils, and I'll start at the bottom. So we have the grade D essential oil. So that you have the, they call it floral waters. So it is the ones that they use for skincare and health products, which is 100% synthetic. Okay. Then you have your C grade, which is your ones that they use in the shampoos and etc. And sorry, using the perfumes. Sorry. And then you have your B grade, which is the food grade, which they sometimes call organic, but they still contain chemicals. And then you have your A grade, which is the pure and unadulterated oils, which is the Young Living oils.
Okay.
So that's amazing.
Okay. Can you tell us which essential oils or grade would you then recommend?
Oh, definitely. You know, when I as a mother and as a grandmother, I would definitely firstly give my children and grandchildren pure and wholesome foods, as well as giving them the best pure and unadulterated essential oils, which would be the Young Living oils. In fact, in 2019, I met Sister Yani Banawi of Singapore, and she in fact introduced us to Young Living essential oils. She came to South Africa, which is the best thing she could have done, you know, because from there, before that, essential oils was, I know essential oils, you know, but did I know the pure unadulterated ones? No, I didn't, until she came. And I found that Young Living oils has actually gone to such an extent to ensure that their products are safe and unadulterated and pure.
Okay, for those viewers who have not tuned into our previous program, can you tell us a bit more about Young Living?
Okay, Young Living is an essential oil company that owns their own farms and their own partner farms, in fact. So they ensure that the farms are well kept, and not only that, they do not use weed killers, they do not use pesticides, and they do not use chemicals on their plants. And that ensures the purity of the Young Living oils, which is the best. I mean, I've never come across a company that actually owns their own farms and have partner farms.
Okay, that's amazing. Can you tell us more about the uses of these oils and what is that lovely aroma in the studio?
Okay, what you're actually smelling, that particular fragrance, Mawada, is actually the purification. So, and the lemon, I've actually combined the two. So actually put 5 drops of purification and 5 drops of lemon. So purification has the ability to uplift the mood, and also it has the ability to take all that negativity, you know, you come in tired, you sit in the studio, you sometimes have, and you just, you know, have that sort of relaxing moment. Besides the fact that we both applied Valor before we started, and this grounds us. So Valor was the best thing that could have happened.
I was going to ask you, what is it that you gave me before starting? I know we were both quite nervous, and you just offered some Valor, and I feel amazing.
It just has that grounding, you know, gives you a bit of confidence and courage and so on.
Okay, Valor sounds amazing. Can you also just tell us more about the background and history of this holistic remedies that you are promoting?
Okay, and I also need to just mention about the Young Livings, you know, the promise of seed to seal. It comes in where it's from the seed, it goes straight into the bottle seal. So there's no a probability of contamination. So, and therefore they stand as always, they stand by 3 pillars, which is sourcing, standard, and science.
Okay.
So those are the 3. And coming back to your question of
the history
of Young Living. So, you know, if you go back into, which I have said previously, if you go back many years ago, centuries ago in fact, the Egyptians used to use essential oils. And it's not new, and you have Ibn Sina, which was today known as Avicenna. He actually had this book, Canon of Medicine, and in this book, he actually spoke about the benefits of, for instance, frankincense and myrrh and bergamot and wormwood, you know, and so it's nothing new, but Young Livings has managed to capture it and distill it the way it should be distilled. There's no chemicals, like I said, so that's why we know that it's pure and unadulterated.
Okay, yes, since our previous interview and today, I've actually went back and read a bit more about the seed to seal and why you're boasting so much about Young Living. And what really stood out for me was the science part. They are so particular about the science and they really boast about their product. So I definitely feel quite confident about the essential oils that you're promoting.
You know, it's strange that you should talk about the science. Not that I know much about science, but you know that, first of all, our bodies have certain frequencies. And so does the essential oils. So our bodies, they move at about 67, between 67 and 78 megahertz. When you get to 58 megahertz, the body starts getting the sort of illnesses and you're not feeling well, you know, and then you know your megahertz has gone down. And positive thinking actually lifts it by 10 megahertz. So the strange thing is about essential oils, like for instance the frankincense. The frankincense is, for instance, at 114 megahertz. And the valor, which we've applied, it's 178 megahertz.
Oh,
and
wow.
if you think about body being at 67 and to 78, you know, you can think by applying essential oils what it wouldn't do to improve the sort of, that resonates, you know, the sort of frequency we resonate at.
Oh.
So that's actually quite interesting. Not that, like I said, I don't know much about science, but I was actually quite interested when I found out that actually essential oils has quite a high frequency.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we also, you know, they've also been used for spiritual purposes. In fact, many religious ceremonies, for instance, where they've used actual essential oils. And I found that quite interesting because we do that today, you know, when we're going to have our prayer meeting, for instance, you know. We're either going to put on our incense stick, but I go for my essential oils now because it does sort of, when everybody comes in, everybody feels happy when we start to use it, especially the purification.
Yes, no, the sense of smell really does have an influence on your mood and how
yes,
you
you're talking
feel.
about that because you know what happens is because the text, if you actually put it on your hand, can I put the peppermint on your hand?
Oh, yes,
One
sure.
drop of water. One drop of peppermint.
Okay.
So
what
all
do
I want you to do is to inhale that.
Okay.
Then I want you to rub it clockwise.
Okay.
And then I want you to actually put it to your nose. Do that, inhale deeply. That's one drop.
Wow.
That's one drop of essential oils. 3 seconds to the limbic region. It leads to the olfactory receptors to the limbic region of the brain. You know that, and where our emotions are stored.
Okay.
So
I could actually feel that peppermint going right up. That was amazing.
And 24 seconds it takes to get to yourself. So it's actually amazing. I don't know of anything else that gets that quickly.
Yes.
So I find if I'm going to faint here any minute now, just like that peppermint and put it to my nose, and that will be fine.
Okay. Tell us, does Young Living only produce essential oils?
No, as you can see, Young Livings has their toiletries set, which is the range of toiletries and household cleaners.
Okay.
So I think I've dealt with that in the previous program, but it's interesting to know because quite a few people have actually asked me, so what does it do? I thought they were only oils, but we do have the household cleaners as the laundry soap and the household cleaner and the dishwashing liquid and the sanitizer, which we all use today.
Yes.
And by the way, it has been approved by the FDA that to use the Young Living thief sanitizer, which is actually quite interesting.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, we have our Ningxia juice, which contains the goju berry. Everybody knows goju berry. And amongst other things, and contains quite a few other berries as well.
Before the show, you spoke to me about some popular essential oils. Can you tell us more about what the most popular essential oils are?
Yeah, so we obviously have our frankincense, which we call the king of oils. Order, if you want to have a drop of that frankincense.
Okay. Do I also rub
Do the
it?
same, and you inhale,
Oh,
and
wow.
you rub.
It smells quite woody for me.
Very woody.
Okay.
And it also enhances and lifts your mood, much like the others. But this also, to apply this on your spinal area, also
Okay.
just gives that calming and soothing feeling, when you just feel you've had a hard day out. You actually apply that, and the nice thing is you put it on the sides of your spine, not on your spine, and you sort of feather it up.
Okay.
We don't massage, we feather it up towards the neck.
Yeah, I
so
know frankincense, I'm quite familiar with that. Also people diffusing it during yoga and meditation
That's
and
correct,
so forth.
because it gives you that feeling of concentration and focus.
Okay.
So in the Egyptian times, in fact, and the times of Imam Shafi, used to use, we used to like to use perfume things, and you must know in that time there was no synthetic. Also, they only used the pure oil, and then you would use that, in fact, to focus and meditate. And frankincense was always also used to burn, like they call the Liban. They used to burn it in the homes. And up till today, we do the same. Now we diffuse it,
Okay, can you tell us more about how one can purchase the Young Living oils, and what does the starter kit comprise of?
Okay, the starter kit comprises of the 10 oils. It will be the 5 ml. This is 15 ml.
Okay.
So can I just show you what it's like, in fact?
Oh,
It's right here. So these are the 10 oils that we have, and they come in 5 ml.
Okay.
So we have the orange, the purification, the peppermint, the lavender, the frankincense, the lemon, the eucalyptus, and then you have your thieves, your valor.
Okay.
So these are the 10 oils that we actually have in the starter kit. So which is amazing, because not only do you get this, but you also get the diffuser, which is going, it's called the Dewdrop diffuser.
Okay. We're going to go for a short ad break. When we come back, Wasila will speak to us more about how you can get hold of these essential oils and also how you can use them. Thank you. Welcome back. Before the break, we spoke about Young Living, all things essential oils, and we ended off speaking about the Young Living Premium Starter Kit. Wasila, can you tell us more about the specific uses of these oils in the Premium Starter Kit?
Okay, so as I mentioned before, we have the 10 oils, which is in 5 ml, but I have 15 ml here for us to have a look at. So we start with the frankincense. Frankincense, like I mentioned earlier, so we won't go over the whole thing, is the king of oils. So we obviously use it for concentration and meditation. Secondly, we have the lemon. The lemon, I've also used it in the diffuser, by the way.
Okay.
And the lemon we use, it aids in digestion. So I think everybody today has put a lemon in their water, in the morning, the fresh lemons in the water, the women especially, when they want to lose that few pounds, they put the lemon in. So the lemon has amazing benefits, but we also use it, it can be used on the face, and but only at night because of the photosensitivity.
Okay.
And then thirdly, we have the lavender. Now, lavender, in fact, has this very calming and soothing, ability. And what is wonderful, when you have that child that doesn't want to sleep, that's running around, you just take out your lavender and you rub it under their feet, but always use a carrier oil, because children, it's a bit strong, and Young Living's oils are extremely concentrated. Okay. So one drop.
You mentioned carrier oil.
Yeah.
What would that be?
So the carrier oil that Young Living has is called the V6 oil. Okay. So we always use that with any of these. But if you don't have V6 oil, you can use coconut oil and you can use almond oil. Some people use the grapeseed oil, know. So that's also good. But always remember, with children, always a carrier oil. So the lavender, and it facilitates sleep. So, so that's actually very nice. So you want your child to sleep, drop a few drops on the pillow as well.
Okay.
So that's actually granting. Peppermint, as I've mentioned earlier. So peppermint is another one I would call king of oils, because it also has that ability, to, like they used to use it in the past, for headaches and things like that. And we just simply use it for anything today, because it has that, it actually refreshing, especially if you put it at the back of your neck. Okay. I always find when I had my walk, you know, and I take this sort of a kilometer or two walk every now and then. And when I come back and I put it at the back of my neck, it actually just has that refreshing feeling, you know. So peppermint, good to have in your handbag. I always carry mine.
Yeah, before the break, when we tried the peppermint, I said I could feel it going up, but I could also feel just everything opening up as if I'm breathing better.
That's correct. You know, I have that blocked nose, you know, especially when you go down when you're praying and you. If I've used my peppermint, I don't have to worry. I don't have that problem, you know. So it actually just clears sort of anything that's congested there and so on. And then of course we have the orange, similar to the also citrusy, also can be used on the skin. And orange, you know, I always like to put 2 drops of orange when I have my Ningxia juice. It just gives you that refreshing flavor, and it gives you that energy, you know, when I drop it in. So when I snip the Ningxia, I sort of drop 2 drops of orange, you know, always in. So that's actually very refreshing.
Can I just ask, the orange and the lemon, that is not orange and lemon juice that we buy?
No. You know, the wonderful thing about this is that the orange was actually developed from the rind of the orange. Okay. And so was the lemon from the rind. So those are pure, unadulterated. So it's so potent and it's so concentrated that you only use 1 drop. Okay. And that is so wonderful about that. And some people just drop it into the hot water in the morning, you know. Okay. So that's actually quite nice. And then, of course, we've got the thieves. The thieves, in fact, contain clove and cinnamon. And you know what they used to use in ancient times, the clove? They used to use it for toothache. You know, and it worked actually very well. So cloves had all these abilities, you know, to sort of help you with any sort of ache, you know. So just saying, in ancient times they used to do that, you know.
I was going to ask the name thieves. So that is a blend of different essential oils.
Yeah. It is a blend of different essential oils, but it's 100% pure. Because although you have a blend, it's only a blend of 100%. Not that you would have a carrier oil in here, because some oils contain, like I remember I mentioned the grades.
Yes.
So this is the pure unadulterated, because it only has 100% oils in it. So your clove oil would be 100%, and your cinnamon oil would be 100%, and the eucalyptus that they have in it would be 100%, and so does the lemon. So. So you never have to worry about any of these blends. The blends are 100%.
Okay, so that we use for all those aches in the teeth. And during the break, you also mentioned about using the thieves in your house.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? You actually remembered. The thieves are actually. I have this storage room next to my house, and it's been there for 20 years and it hasn't been cleared out. So we have these boxes and things, and most of them got this moldy smell, and the mold sort of against the walls and the ceiling. So what I actually did was I used an entire bottle for 5 days. I diffused these in the room, and there are 2 rooms. So we did 2.5 days. We did the 1 room, and 2.5 days we did the other room. And would you believe it? When I went into that room, and I lifted a box, there was no moldy smell. It was it absolutely smelled completely clean.
Okay.
So it's like the air was completely purified. And I was amazed, because before I would go in and do that or wear a mask or something because of the moldy smell. But I have to tell you, that actually removes all the mold, which was really amazing. Plus the fact that I use it. Actually, I use a small bottle, not the big one. Okay. To find more.
Okay. And what are the other oils in the
kit?
So
then you have the eucalyptus. This was also used in ancient times. They used the eucalyptus in that time as an expectorant and a decongestant. You know, so you'd always sort of apply it on the chest and the back, especially for the little ones, you know, when they sort of have that sort of chestiness, you know, and you feel you don't want to get them anything really strong. So you apply that with a carrier oil. You know, like I said, with either the V6 oil or the coconut or the almond oil. So that is the eucalyptus. And you get 2, you get the eucalyptus radiata and you get the eucalyptus globulus. You know, so those are the 2 that's in South Africa.
Okay.
So we have 100 oils in South Africa, but Young Living in South have over 200 oils, and only half of that is in South Africa. So they're slowly bringing in the different oils into the country. So next we have the citronella, and who doesn't know citronella? Citronella, in fact, We diffuse, you know, for the insects, especially in summer when you have those mosquitoes going around, you know. And so when you actually, I diffuse it throughout the night. In fact, this diffuser can run for 10 hours, depending on which setting. If you want a fast setting, it will go for 5 hours. If you do it on a slow setting, it will diffuse for 10 hours. So you can happily leave it throughout the night, not worry that the water is going to run out. So citronella is amazing to diffuse when you have mosquitoes and insects around. And then we have our purification, which I have in there, which I said was a mood enhancer, you know, so it has really lifted our spirit. As you can see, Mawada and I are on very high spirits. And so that was actually one of the things that I put in there, plus the lemon. And then lastly, we get to our valor. Now, Mawada and I use the valor. This is a grounding oil. So we use the valor, in fact, we came in here, we put it onto our wrist at the back of our neck, and I tell you, our uneasiness and my lack of confidence all disappeared. So I was very happy that, Mawada, didn't you feel that way when you applied them?
Oh yes, I forgot about my nervousness to start this interview. Okay. You also mentioned that Young Living doesn't only have essential oils, that there's a wellness range as well. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes. So we have the Ninsha juice. So the Ninsha, in fact, that I mentioned, I take this 3 times a day. So the Ninsha juice comes in these sachets, and we don't have the bottles as yet. The bottles are only over in America. So we just snip the top, and I love to put in I sometimes put in my frankincense, but I put in the orange as well. And when I have that little, you know, stress and I feel not, then I will use something called the helichrysum. The helichrysum is one of our oils also. And we've got so many. Unfortunately, we can't speak about all the oils, but the helichrysum has amazing wellness benefits as well.
And then I also see there's the Thieves Cleaning range. Can you tell us more about that?
We have the Thieves Cleaning range. In fact, we have the laundry soap. And in fact, many people would be happy to know that the entire house can be chemical free, which is what I do. I do not have any chemicals in my house. My entire house, I will have my laundry soaps. I do not use any laundries that's full of chemicals and solvents. Then I have my household cleaner, and that household cleaner you can make from about 15 liters to 20 liters. And you simply drop 3 or 4 caps into a liter water, and you spray it in your bathroom, on your tabletops, anywhere, you know, that you find a little bit that needs to be disinfected.
And how can the viewers obtain these products?
Okay, these products can be obtained if you have my number on screen, and then they can actually just either WhatsApp me or they can email me. My email will be on screen, as you said, my number. And so if you just send me a quick note there, and then I'll reply, and then you can actually have, and you know, for you to actually have this is an absolute essential. Because for children especially, because I mainly use it for my grandchildren and obviously on myself, but for the grandchildren it's amazing, you know, that you don't have to worry you've got something you can apply when there's sort of niggly during the night, you know, and things like that.
And then in our previous interview on the 22nd of August, there were some giveaways and some winners. Can you tell us?
We in fact had 3 winners. In fact, our first prize winner, can I just get to that? Our first prize winner, in fact, was a lady from Springs, back in Springs. Her name was Munira Adam. So she won the first prize, in fact. In fact, she called just after the program was done. And our second prize winner was a lady from Lansdowne, Auntie Faika. And our third prize winner was Aziza Idris from Mitchell's Plain.
Okay. Lovely. And I remember we gave away the premium starter kit, the Ninsha, and some Thieves Cleaner.
And some Thieves.
Oh, wow.
And the value of this is amazing, you know. So for people that have it, they must be very happy. I've had some lovely calls from them to tell me that they're very happy with their product. And so there you go.
Thank you so much, Wasila, for joining us and for this informative program. I'm sure the viewers really enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.
Shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.